Hey guys. So, as a lot of you know, I live technically in two places. I live in Estonia and I live in the US part-time. And so I spend a lot of time in airports, in the air, packing, unpacking. So, over the past 4 years, I've kind of acquired some tips that I think are really useful, things that I do myself. First tip is that buying tickets really early doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get really cheap tickets. If you buy, like, let's say 6, 7 months in advance, that doesn't mean anything. So for me, I've noticed that if I buy about a month in advance for my trip, it seems to be like the lowest prices. Number two, check the layover times always, especially if you're going to a different country and you need to go through the border security, especially if you're coming into the US, especially if you're coming into the US. Do not give yourself a 30-minute layover because you are not going to be able to get off that plane through customs and through security again and catch your flight. I highly doubt it. At least minimum an hour and a half. And that's even cutting it short. When you're traveling to a different country, the longer the layover, actually, the better. Number three, for holiday travel, I would specifically try to get tickets before December 19th because after December 19th, if you're traveling those days, ticket prices automatically go up because that's like the holiday season. Number four, learn to be really flexible with dates because I know a lot of people who they want to travel or they want to go somewhere, they pick a date and they see it's too expensive and they get frustrated and they're like, I can't go. If you tweak the date just by a day or two, then the price can drop between 50 to 100 euros. You just have to be a little bit flexible and play with the dates a little bit. Don't get frustrated. Just keep trying. Number five, on long flights, please, 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 please pick the aisle seat. Because I guarantee you, if you sit in the window seat, you're one, not going to want to drink any fluids because two, you're not going to want to get up, ask the person next to you to get up and go to the bathroom. That was me. So, best thing to do, sit in the aisle, and then it just frees so much stress about having to ask someone next to you to get up. So it keeps you hydrated and you're an easy access to the bathroom. And if you're tall like me, you can stick your legs in the aisle as well when they get really sore instead of having to keep them crammed in. So another plus. 6. Now, I know not all of you watching this are vegetarian or vegan. I eat a very plant-based diet, so I actually, when I first started flying, I didn't know that you could change the meal for free of charge. You don't have to pay anything. Like this last trip when I came home, they gave me like a curry, gave me this amazing like coconut chocolate pudding. It tasted like fudge. It was amazing. I can't believe I'm actually saying that airplane food tasted good, but wow. Even if you're not vegetarian, vegan, I highly recommend just trying. And you also usually get your food before everybody else does, as well as your snack. So highly recommend. Number 7, pack snacks. Every single time when I buy snacks and I pack them, I end up eating every single one of them because when you're traveling, this is specifically, I think, for when you're traveling long distances, and you're just surviving off granola bars and snacks and you're not really eating any proper meals. And you're running around between different terminals and it's, there's a lot of stress and waiting and everything. And honestly, snacks are a lifesaver. Yeah, pack a lot of snacks. I bring all different kinds of protein bars that I can find. Those seem to be the best, and I usually pack a banana. Actually, no, don't travel with bananas. I just remembered that one time, 2 ripe bananas, and after my first flight, I reached into my carry-on to take it out, and it had become mush. The bag reeked of banana, and it took me forever to get it out. So no, don't bring ripe bananas. Bring apples. They're nice and hard. They don't get mushy. Granola bars and apples. Those are your best friends. Number 8. So only pack what you're almost 100% sure that you're going to wear. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to bring a crap ton of stuff that you don't even touch. Just remember also that when you're going somewhere, you're probably going to want to bring a lot of stuff back. And especially me, because I go home, I bring a lot of stuff back with me. So, and I always make this mistake of bringing way too much stuff, and I have to leave stuff here, and you don't want to have to do that. So just, it may hurt packing so little, but I promise you, you're going to thank yourself. Number 9. So number 9 is a weird one, but I have a really personal experience with this, and that is to change the time zone of the location you're going before you actually get there. It's an experience where I was on my last plane home, because it takes 3 planes for me to get home, and I had forgotten to change the time zone, and it was an hour behind of what the actual time was at the location, and I almost missed my flight home. Honestly, do it. Just get it done. 10. So number 10, dress comfortably. I usually wear yoga pants and a long sleeve shirt, and I usually wear tennis shoes. And I always bring a jacket, even in the summer, because the plane can get kind of cold. So always pack like a jacket as well. 11. To download new music or new podcasts, films, anything. Because while, like, for example, on the long flights, they give you, they have a TV on the plane, but sometimes there's really nothing that good, or a lot of stuff you've already seen before. And if you're traveling for at least 8-9 hours, you're going to get bored. If you're someone like me, I can't sleep on the plane. I don't know what, it's not anxiety. I can't sleep. I'd rather stay awake. What saved me last year was Game of Thrones. I downloaded like every single episode of Game of Thrones because I was catching up, and that made the plane ride go by so quickly. So download your favorite TV show, podcast, whatever it is, to help the time go by. Last one, number 12, is actually, it's not really a tip, but it's just something that I have learned to love about traveling, which I mentioned in my other video, that I used to hate traveling. It really freaked me out. The thought of being in the air with a bunch of people and you're just like floating through the sky. It was just such a scary concept to me. Started to really see things I never noticed before. And one of those things is when you're traveling, and if you're traveling in the morning when the sun is just about to come up, you have to look out your window, because it's one of the most beautiful sights you're ever going to see, watching the sun come up. It's different than watching it when you're on the ground, and you just see the sun come up. Really beautiful about seeing it when you're in the air that high up and you see the whole sky go from complete dark to just like this beautiful glow. It's unlike anything you're ever going to see. And it's one of my favorite things. I love traveling into the morning because I just, while everyone's asleep, I'm just sitting there staring out my window. So, and the sun's about to come up, look out your window, please, because I think it's in that moment when I'm looking at the sky and the sun coming up that you almost feel like you're on top of the world. So look out your window. Bye.